Hi there everybody, welcome back to my channel, Workshop Fun. Several people have been asking me for a demo video of my mill. So I thought today I'd try and do that. I need to mill a little bit of alloy square, or as square as I can get it without going over the top. It doesn't have to be absolutely square, this particular bit of alloy. And then I also need to put a hole into it. So I'm going to try and basically just demonstrate this mill and what it's capable of. I will say it's more than capable of doing alloy, and it's quite capable of doing heavier steels, even stainless steel. But the heavier the steel, the lighter the passes must be. With alloy it'll cut through it like butter, and pretty much with brass as well. But when you get onto steel, like mild steel and especially stainless steel though, you need to take lighter passes. Mild steel is still not too bad, but you still got to be gentler. So basically, if you got the patience, you can pretty much mill anything on these little mills. It's just you got to take light passes and have a lot of patience. Now with this mill, you'll see in my previous videos I've set up the aftermarket belt drive kit for this mill. It comes from the little machine shop over in America. Excuse me. So that's improved it a lot because I don't have the plastic gears in there anymore that can bust out at any given time. And I went the whole hog with this. I turned around and ripped the head right off the mill and actually gutted the plastic gears out from the inside of the mill, and turned around and got rid of the high-low lever altogether, and just made a bung. Excuse me. So yeah, it's a huge improvement. So if you get one of these SIG X2 mills, I strongly recommend that kit, the little machine shop belt drive kit. It's a huge improvement and worthwhile having. Right, so let's get on to my little job. I'm just going to bring the tripod over closer. Now you have to forgive me, this is the first time I've really done a demo video of using my mill. So I'm going to try and zoom you up. One moment. Right, that's better. So what we got here today is this edge here needs to be squared, and it's not square as you can see. I'll try and bring you in closer here. And there we go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just plunge this down. So this mill will be perfectly capable of squaring this off in one pass, but I just want to make sure that the mill end is not going to rub against the table and start milling the table. So that seems fine. So it's down in the slots there, and it will mill the alloy, but it won't hit the T-slots on the mill table. So that's brilliant. Okay, I'm just going to get my safety glasses for my visor. So we'll turn this on to reasonably low. Oh, for one moment. One thing I would advise too, lock your table in the axis that you're not using. So I'm going to be using, I've forgotten what you call this now. I'm going to be using this axis, but I'm not going to be using the x-axis or y-axis. I'm not sure. I have to go over that again. But I'm not going to be using the axis that makes the table go this way and that way. So I'm going to lock that one, so that eliminates that wobble. And use a bit of oil. Now people advise often to buy all this cutting oil and stuff like that. Well, I've been told by quite a few old timers that just good old canola oil is perfectly fine for this kind of thing. So that's what I use, and I found it works great. So I'm just going to turn this up to a reasonable sort of speed, and now we'll just feed it in carefully. This is one flaw with these mills. I've accidentally set it up too far towards the end of the table and I can't mill all the way across. So I'll just pause the video and then I'll be back in a tick. Okay, I've got that reset now. So here we go. Okay, as you can see, it did that quite nicely. So I'm just going to pause the video and I'm going to come back again. Okay, now just quickly reset it up. So what I want to do now is just machine off this lip here and make it level with the rest of the alloy. And well, I'm going to give you guys a demo on that. So when you just lower the quill, and with this machine here you just simply lock the quill handle in place, and then you can turn around and use this for your fine increments. So there we go, see how it's moving the quill down, and you can use that for your passes. Now I don't really need to do that with this round, I'm just showing you guys, but when you're cutting heavier steel like stainless steel or normal steel, and you're doing something precise, that's really good to have. Or even of course with alloy, anything, when you're doing something precise, or what I was meant to say, with the heavier steels you only want to do shallow cuts, so this is very handy to have. You just do little fine increments, and then if you want to just get a certain depth, of course you got your measurements there, and you can just set your depth and then take your pass. And I'm trying to remember, but with milling of course there's climb cutting and climb cutting and then your other cutting, oh for goodness sakes, can't remember now, but anyway, you got to watch which way you cut. Sometimes when you're cutting, if you cut the wrong way, you get chatter and you get horrible vibration through the mill, and you soon work out actually which way is the best way to cut. So climb cutting of course this is the opposite to climb cutting, so that's pushing the mill into it, I believe, and climb cutting is this way. like that, pushing against it, so it's climbing up the work. So anyway, I think I got that in the right order. So what I'm going to do now, excuse me, you have to forgive my voice too, I've been a bit crook with the flu, and that's probably why I'm not thinking clearly either. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this across. Oop. Blimey. And I'm just going to climb cut this. It seems to work quite nicely with the alloy. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to do it in 1 or 2 passes. I may go back the other way for a finish pass or whatever. It doesn't really seem to matter as much with alloy. Now I'm just going to set this axis. Okay, now I've just locked the quill, and I'm using my fine increment, and I'm just going to bring it up roughly level, but not fully, because I'll make a finishing pass, I think. So I'll lock that. I still lock the quill, and now I'll bring this down here. And now what I'm going to do now is lock the axis underneath here, so there's no wobble. And here we go. Oh, I could have taken away these cutting this. Yeah, I'll back that off and I'll show you what you can sort of do with this thing. With alloy. Let's try that. Should have some oil on here too. So that's almost leveled it off in one pass. Go. Level it. Yep. There we go, that machines that lip off completely. And yeah. Yep. Now the only thing I'll say about these cheaper mills is of course you've got to watch the backlash. It can be quite nasty. One of these days I'm going to do something to fix it up actually a bit if I can. But for now, that's done a good job so far. So I have machined the lip right off, and it's just about perfectly level. There's a slightest little edge there, but nothing much. Given what I'm going to be using this for, it's fine. I'm just going to be using this to hold my new switch for my drill press. So I still need to clean up the edges a little bit and make it nice. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around and machine a slot in here for the switch. So I'm going to pause this and then I'll come back.